The Yom Kippur War of 1973 was a brief but intensive war that saw Israel attacked on almost all fronts in a coordinated strike by Arab states and their allies. Although today this is generally regarded as an Israeli military victory, the Egyptian armed forces still celebrate their actions in this conflict as both bold and heroic. Several places in Cairo can be found which honours the daring operations the Egyptians undertook in October 1973, and none more so than here at the Panorama Museum. The Panorama Museum holds 3 examples of Egyptian Air Force aircraft, along with a very impressive collection of military equipment. There's not too many aviation museums in this part of the world, so as this place located halfway between downtown Cairo and the international airport has 3 aircraft dramatically displayed, it's fair game for an aviation museum video. Reaching the Panorama Museum from central Cairo is easy, as it is just a short walk away from the Fair Zone metro stop. Set between a huge sporting complex and modern high-rise apartment blocks is a gated outdoor display area, and a large circular building that gives the Panorama Museum its name. It was a bit strange visiting here, as I was the only non-Egyptian visitor, and that seemed to raise a few suspicions with the security staff. I was eventually allowed inside, but was escorted to the main Panorama exhibitions and then outside, without being able to take a look at some of the other exhibits inside the main hall. The star attraction at the museum is one of the most patriotic displays to a country's military I think I've ever seen, and for this, you're sat down in cinema-styled seating. With dramatic music and sound effects playing, a commanding voice narrating the scenes in Arabic, and the huge mural that the chairs slowly rotate around, it's hard not to be impressed by this. All aspects of Egypt's assault across the Suez Channel can be found here, from the air assault carried out by the Egyptian Air Force, to the ingenious approach of clearing a way through sand defences with the use of a high-pressure hose. Another display inside the building took a different approach to depicting the Egyptian campaign in the Yom Kippur War, with the use of 3D animation rendering. There were some nice scenes showing the aerial warfare of this conflict, even making the use of the Star Wars cannon noise for the launch of a SAM-2 missile. Some parts seemed to be a little biased, but it seemed to entertain the kids from the school visits. On departing the museum building, the grounds are where I justify this video as being one of my aviation museums of the World series. To the left is a dramatic display of 3 Egyptian Air Force aircraft that took part in the Yom Kippur War. First on show was the Mikoyan MiG-17 Fresco, a jet fighter of the early 1950s that became a very useful fighter bomber in Egyptian service. Equipped with cannon, bombs and rockets, it could pack a considerable punch against ground targets. Next along was a specialist ground attack aircraft of the Russian Sukhoi company, the Su-20, codenamed Vita. Egypt used several versions of the fitter, starting from the fixed-winged Sukhoi Su-7 through to this variant, which is one equipped with variable sweep wings. This aircraft is also bristling with air-to-ground ordnance, from 4 bombs mounted on the underside pylons to twin rocket pods. The fact that these are mounted on plinths gives the impression that you could be standing at the edge of the runway and these are roaring overhead. The last aircraft here is the Mikoyan MiG-21, a fighter that usually came off worse in dogfights with the better trained and equipped Israeli Air Force, but nonetheless could still score kills in the right hands. All of these aircraft wear similar desert camouflage and large orange day-glow markings. There is also a plethora of other relics and displays relating to the Yom Kippur War on show here, from ground vehicles used by the Egyptian army to this statue depicting Egyptian soldiers embarking on an amphibious assault. The museum also holds a number of captured Israeli tanks, as well as the destroyed wreckage of an Israeli Air Force Douglas A4 Skyhawk. I'm not sure if the green paint is authentic for Israeli armour of this time, but it does certainly make that us versus them identification for the museum easier. The shattered remains of a Douglas A4 Skyhawk's tailplane is a poignant reminder of one of the many losses sustained by the Israeli Air Force during this action. If you have enjoyed this video, why not leave a like and follow my channel for more, and I'll bring you many more places around Egypt, as well as aviation museums from the rest of the world. However, until next time, see you around.